So many people enjoy sitting down to a warm cup of coffee, but I feel that not all coffee is created equal. There's so many ways that you can create good coffee, but my favorite way of making coffee is with a Chemex and doing the pour over method. Today I'm going to show you how I make our coffee. We enjoy a pour over coffee twice a day. This is a special time that we sit down and we actually take time to enjoy the coffee. Today I'm going to teach you the way that we do it. There's so many different methods out there. When I was first learning how to make the pour over coffee, I watched so many videos on how to make it, and there's just so much information out there, and it seems like everyone is different. And in reality, when you're first learning to make it, you may follow a specific way of doing it, but everybody has a different idea of what they really enjoy. The coffee we'll use today is the Higher Grounds coffee. We find this at Costco. This is an organic medium dark roast. This is one of our favorites. We found many others that we also like. When you factor in the price, we have settled on this one, and then we usually have another type of coffee that we're trying along and along also. These are the Chemex containers. We have a little one here that we don't use very much, and then we have this bigger one, and this is the one that we keep out all the time. This one would be good if you just had a couple people, but I like it as a backup just in case something happens where this one gets broke. We've had this for a long time and it hasn't. So these are the Chemex filters that we use. These ones are not bleached, and we appreciate that about them. I order these from World Market, and I found that I can get them the cheapest there. I usually buy several boxes when I order them so that I can get the free shipping. These are the two kettles that we use. This one is a pour over kettle that works great to pour the water over the grounds. This one here I just use to preheat my Chemex vessel and also preheat our coffee cups. Yes, I know that seems a bit over the top, but it makes a big difference in keeping your coffee nice and warm, especially in the winter. So I'm going to fill these up with water and get them ready to heat up. So I'll set this on 205 degrees, and we have this one heating now. I use a scale like this. I'll get it turned on, and I'll set my cup on here. I have these jars that I have the coffee beans into that I store right here on the top of the coffee bar. Make sure that your scales are tared out prior to putting beans in so you get an accurate reading. For our afternoon coffee, I measure out 35 grams of coffee. And then I'll pour these beans into the coffee grinder. I have the coffee grinder set to an 8, which would probably be about 3/4 of the way up on your coffee grinder. So it's considered a medium coarse grind. So I will grind these. And you can measure to make sure that it came out right. With these Chemex coffee filters, they're square. You can open them up, and it's just a sheet of square paper. When you open these up, you want to open it up so that only one flap is on one side, and then the other has 3 sides. It's a single paper here, and then 3 right here. So when you put it in the Chemex, you want to put it in so that the side that has 3 is to the lip right here. The reason you put the side that has 3 on it is so that this air hole will be able to still breathe when you pour the water into the coffee filter. So I'll set my Chemex on the scale. Our water's hot now, so we'll put this water in here. It's probably best if you set it down first. You pour the water in to get it pre-hot. You're also pouring it in so that you're washing out that paper flavor and rinsing out the filter. I enjoy collecting the Starbucks cups from different states that we visit. And so I'll give a shout out to my Costa Rican friends. I went on a mission trip there years ago. in Alabama. We visited Alabama and we loved it. It was so beautiful. So I'm going to preheat these as well. I'll get this water dumped out. Okay, I'll get my coffee grains here in the Chemex. And you can kind of level the grains out a little bit. And we're going to tare this out so it's back to zeros. And then I set a timer because you want to pour about 100 grams of water over the top of this, and you'll see it bubbling up. That's called blooming. So I set the timer so that I can keep an eye on it. And I let it go anywhere from 35 to 45 seconds before I pour in more water. And it's usually about 100 grams of water that I put over the grains. So I'll set my timer and I'll pour it over. You go in kind of a swirling motion to get them grains wet. For our afternoon coffee, we grind 35 grams of coffee beans and then we pour over 600 grams of water. Okay, the coffee is ready to pour up. We'll get our filter and grounds out of the Chemex. To rinse the Chemex out, I take the remaining water that I have left over in my pour over and I just pour it over the top of it. And the nice thing with doing this, it's very rare that we even have to wash this out by doing that. Whenever I get done pouring the water over it, then I swish it around to make sure I get the whole bottom rinsed. And I just pour it out in the sink. So I have this little sweater type thing, I don't know what they call it. It's a little jacket that can go on the Chemex and it helps keep it warm. So normally I have that on there, but I wanted to demonstrate what it looks like when the coffee is pouring down into the bottom of the Chemex. So I will show you what it looks like when it's on. There's a clear little window here. So you put that by the belly button. There's a little belly button right here. That tells you when you're halfway full on the Chemex. So you can see that little belly button there sticking out through that glass part. And then on the back here, there's a little zipper. And so that helps keep it warm. I put it over here on the counter with a trivet under it so that it can drain. I put it upside down. And that way I don't have to worry about stagnant water staying in there or getting gross or anything like that. And we do use it twice a day, so it gets rinsed out quite often. I like to use the organic heavy whipping cream in my coffee. You can get this at Costco in these big jugs. This is a half-gallon jug and it runs around $13 and something, but it's a lot cheaper than buying it at a regular store where you buy a little pint for like $7. So this is what I use in my coffee. So while we sit here and enjoy our coffee, I want to introduce you to my husband, Rich.
Hello.
This is something that we do every day. We have our morning coffee together, and then in the afternoon we have our afternoon coffee. It's such a great time to have to just slow down when we're always so busy and just enjoy some coffee together. I hope you all enjoyed spending time with me while I made pour over coffee. Whether you drink coffee or not, it's always nice to spend time with those that we love. Life is way too short. The older I get, the more I'm realizing this. I hope you all have a wonderful day. See you next time.